Hello everyone! Okay, so today we're gonna make an exercise together. This is a binomial exercise as we have seen in class. So I will do this one with you just to make you practice with the binomial distribution. Okay, so this is a binomial exercise. Binomial distribution. Alright, so let's read the question together. What are we talking about? Terry purchases small pack of Narcissus poeticus seeds. The seed packaging claims that the germination rate of the seeds is 75%. Terry sows 5 seeds selected at random in his backyard. Okay, so we have his backyard and he has 5 seeds that he's gonna sow in his backyard. Find the probability that at least one seed will germinate. Okay, so the thing here is to recognize that this is a binomial distribution. So remember, if we have a binomial distribution, we have a random variable and we have an n and a p. Again, what is our n? The n is the number of trials, right? And p is the probability of success. So, what are we going to talk about? Find the probability that at least one seed will germinate. Okay, so with binomial distribution questions, we have we are looking for a probability that something happens, and then here the key is to recognize the outcome of success. In other words, if you remember well, with binomial, we have two outcomes. We have success and we have failure, right? And then with binomial, we say the probability that x is equal to something, where x is the number of successes, right? So if we now look at this question, we can determine what our success might be. Like, find the probability that at least one seed will germinate. Success is the outcome that a seed will germinate. Okay, this is our success. Failure is a seed will not germinate. All right? Okay, so now this is important. We have denoted what our success is and our failure in a binomial distribution. Now we have to look for P. Remember what P was? P is the probability of success. So what is given about the probability that a seed will germinate? They say the seed packaging claims that the germination rate of the seeds is 75%. So basically our probability of success, probability that a seed will germinate, is 0.75, isn't it? And therefore the probability of failure is always 1 minus p, and that is therefore 1 minus 0.75. So that is 0.25. Okay, so let's go back to our definition. So x is the number of successes. So this is basically the number of seeds that germinate. So yeah, that germinates. All right, perfect. We have n. Let's look. We need the number of trials. So we're looking here at 5 seeds, aren't we? Here, Terry sows 5 seeds. Find the probability that at least one seed will germinate. So remember how I explained it to you guys? This whole binomial distribution, I was explaining with a crush replying to you, right? So you would talk to your crush and text him or her 5 times a week. And then n in that case was 5 and p was 40%, remember? So here n will be 5 seeds because we have 5 seeds, remember? So find the probability that at least one seed, one of the 5, will germinate. So n is 5, and again p is 0.75. So x, the number of seeds that germinate, X will be binomially distributed with n and p, and that is therefore 5, 0.75. Okay, so this is the important thing. This is really what we want you to write down in your exam. This stuff and also this. You have to be able to write down what our X is. Number of seeds that germinate. Okay? Perfect. So find the probability that at least one seed will germinate. How do we write that? That is basically the probability that X is bigger or equal to 1, isn't it? Okay, so X is equal to, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? We have either 0 seeds that germinate, 1, 2, 3, up until 5. And this probability is equal to the P of X is 1 plus plus Px is 5. If we would do these things individually, remember that we have to use PDF, right? PDF, PDF. But luckily, our calculator is helping you out with this one. So with a range, you can use CDF, okay? So this is the binomial CDF. Perfect. And remember that CDF is with a range. So you need N, you need P, you need the lower range and the upper boundary. So you put this in your calculator. N is 5, P is 0.75. The lower bound is this, is 1, and the upper bound is 5. And then you put this in your calculator and then a value comes out. I don't have the answer right now, but this is what you're supposed to do. And this is the answer to question A. Then B, find the probability that exactly 3 seeds will germinate. Well, that is a bit easier even. So what are we going to do? Px is equal to 3, isn't it? Check. So here, are we going to use CDF or are we going to use PDF? So I really want you to think here. I hope you're all shouting PDF at home. That would be lovely. So you put PDF in your calculator because we have one value, right? So we put binomial PDF, and then you need a few things. You need N, you need P, and the value. So that's quite easy now. N is 5, P is 0.75, and our value, we are looking for 3 successes, 3 germs that will germinate, seeds that will germinate, so there will be 3 up here. And then again, I don't have the answer, but an answer comes out. And this is how you do this question, guys. So again, little recap. This is a binomial distribution because we are looking for a probability of a certain number of successes, okay? And with a success, with binomial, we need 2 outcomes, a success and a failure. So look at your question and then at least 1 seed will germinate. You have to think, okay, this thingy needs to be our success. At least 1 seed will germinate. So the seed germinating is our outcome of success, and failure is the seed will not germinate. Then you need P, which is the probability of success. Well, that is given. The germination rate is 75%. Awesome. So that is P. N is our number of trials, and that is 5 because we're looking at 5 seeds. Great. And then it's simple. You just have to define our X, our random variable. X is always the number of successes in a binomial distribution, so remember that. So therefore, X is the number of seeds that germinate, because that's what we're looking for. So then we just write it down like this. This is the important stuff that we want you to write down in your tests, okay? And then you just compute the question. So they say Px is bigger or equal to 1. You use CDF because we're talking about a range. PDF is when we have 1 single value. Okay? So that was question 2. B is like that we have exactly 3. So make good use of the difference between CDF and PDF. And then you just put it in your calculator and then voila. Alright guys, see you in the next video. I hope this helps. Bye!